Today we are reviewing yet another 10 flashcards that help you get ready for your paramedic exam or other applicable test. My name is Zach and this is Paramedic Zach. Alrighty, so welcome back, or welcome for the first time. We are now moving on to question 121. What are the 5 T's in your reversible causes for cardiac arrest? So your reversible causes are your H's and T's. They're there to help you determine a cause for cardiac arrest and help provide an intervention that might be life-sustaining. For the T's, they consist of a tension pneumothorax, cardiac tamponade, toxins, a coronary thrombosis, as well as a pulmonary thrombosis. Each of these can contribute or cause cardiac arrest, and with the proper interventions can be reversed and help sustain life in this patient. Moving on to question 122. Name the receptor. It relaxes smooth muscle, stimulates glycogenolysis, and stimulates insulin secretion. Hint: think fight or flight. Alright, so the hint here alludes to the fight or flight response, which releases adrenaline into the body. Adrenaline is an agonist or stimulates the beta-2 receptors. So the beta-2 receptor is responsible for relaxation of smooth muscle, stimulation of insulin secretion, and the stimulation of glycogenolysis, which is the breakdown of stored glycogen into glucose. Moving on to question 123. The blank blank principle states that the more a ventricle stretches, the harder it contracts. Alrighty, so this is known as the Frank-Starling principle. Moving on to question 124. To prepare a Levophed infusion, mix blank milligrams of Levophed into blank cc's of normal saline. Then, to give 4 mics per minute, deliver blank drops every blank seconds using a 60 drop drip set. Alright, so this is a little bit longer of a question, so let's break it down a bit. Levophed, also known as norepinephrine, can be given as an infusion when you take 4 milligrams and mix it into a 250 cc or ml bag of normal saline. When giving a Levophed infusion, you're going to be delivering it with a 60 drop drip set. That is, 60 drops equals 1 ml of the medication. In order to give 4 micrograms per minute, you're going to be giving 1 drop every 4 seconds with your 60 drop drip set. Moving on to question 125. A direct blow to the chest wall which induces electrical disturbances in the heart is known as blank. So a direct blow to the chest during the right point in the cardiac cycle can cause a lethal dysrhythmia and ultimately cardiac arrest. This condition is known as commotio cordis. Moving on to question 126. The amount of fluid a burn patient will need within the first 24 hours is known as the blank blank and is written as blank. Hint: it's 4% weight. So I know that this is a bit of an obscure hint, but it helped me remember this formula, which is the Parkland formula, or the Parkland-Burn formula. The Parkland-Burn formula is the percent of the body surface area burned times the weight of the patient in kilograms times 4, which equals the milliliters of fluid that you're going to be giving this patient. The first half of this fluid needs to be given over the first 8 hours of the burn, and normal saline is preferred over lactated ringers. So if we go back to my hint here, it's 4% weight. How do I put this? The entire formula is encoded into it. So 4 is a number that you'll multiply by the percent of body surface area burned times the patient's weight. Just make sure it's in kilograms. I hope that helps. Moving on to question 127. What is your pediatric defibrillation dose in joules? So when defibrillating a pediatric patient in pulseless VTAC or VFib, the dose is 2 joules per kilogram for your first shock, and then you can increase the dose by 2 joules per kilogram up to a maximum of 10 joules per kilogram. All right, moving on to question 128. A disease that attacks the voluntary motor nerves, causing muscles to atrophy and eventually die, is known as blank. So the long name for this disease is known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, i.e. ALS, but it's more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Question 129. What is your pediatric rapid sequence intubation Versed dose and maximum dose? Hint, it's a high max dose. So when using Versed as your sedative with rapid sequence intubation on a pediatric patient, the dose is 0.2 milligrams per kilogram with a maximum of 10 milligrams. And lastly, we have question 130. Metabolic alkalosis is most likely caused by either of these two things. So the two things to most likely cause metabolic alkalosis is going to be 1, prolonged vomiting, or 2, an overdose on antacids. Alrighty guys, thanks again for joining. That is going to do it for this episode. Arf, arf, arf. Arf, arf. If these episodes are helping you in any way, could you please do me a favor and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm? And if you'd like to get these videos regularly to help you pass your exam, make sure you subscribe. Thanks again for joining and take care.